Hello everyone, this is Winona from Dairy Barn Art. Welcome back and welcome if you're new. If you're seeing this for the first time, this is my Flosstube number 2. I do many crafts, and I've decided that I would do like a month recap instead of trying to do videos during the month, at least for the next foreseeable future. I will just do a video recap of what I've done, what I've purchased in all my different craft areas. And right now my passion is cross-stitching and quilting, besides my jewelry making. So anyway, before we get started, I always like to start a video with a little gratitude. And so today we're reading from Martha Washington, and she says, I have learned from experience that the greater part of our happiness or misery depends on our dispositions and not our circumstances. And that is so true. I've been through a lot. I've survived breast cancer. 5 years out, I'm still dealing with the repercussions from the chemotherapy. But I choose to live a happy-filled life. I choose to live a very grateful life. I want to make the best. God doesn't guarantee us a tomorrow, on earth at least, and I try to make the most out of every day I'm given. That's not to say I don't have down days. I do. Everyone does. I would be lying if I said I didn't, but I try to make most days be very grateful and fill my life with happiness. And then the question to ask yourself for the day is, who do I know who is happy even in challenging situations? And what can I learn from this? And as I said, that's the way I try to live my life, in happiness. Anyway, talking about happiness, I've had such a busy summer that I wanted to do this on August 1st, but I've had company since then, and I haven't had a chance. My granddaughter's been here, and my great niece, and we've just been having a blast. But it's time to get this done so I can put stuff away and get started on new projects. So I thought I would start this out with some projects from the past that I need to finish, and I want to turn them into project bags. And I've got so many pieces. This is, when I first got my embroidery machine, I bought some Osnaburg, and you know what? I used muslin back then for a stabilizer. I didn't realize I was doing that because I just learned it just recently again. Everything old is new, right? So anyway, I thought I would cut these and turn them into project bags. They're just like what they call red work, but I chose to do them in green. And there's another design. That would be like Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, I think. And that looks like kind of like a primrose. And here's a rose. So I will just trim these up and I will put them into project bags. Oh, this one still has threads that need clipping. This one I actually did on muslin. Or no, this is the right way. This is the way. Looks pretty darn good that way too, though. But here's the Osnaburg. So I need to make more project bags. I've filled up every project bag I've made so far. So I think I will use these and finish them up. And actually I bought some fabric last month that will go really well with this. I never even thought of that. Then, as I was going through old things, I found this. My grandpa, when he retired, he did needlepoint. And I've got 2 of his pieces. I need to find the other one. And I'm going to turn this into a project bag. It's been sitting in a drawer for many years. And what good is it sitting in a drawer? And chances are if I framed it, I probably wouldn't hang it because it doesn't really fit in my decor in my house. So what better use than a project bag? This would make a fair size project bag, and I think what I will do is I will keep some of my rulers in this project bag, and that way I will know that that's where the rulers are. So anyway, those are kind of blasts from the past. I finished one thing this month, and it was quite an accomplishment. I'm just gonna pause here. Sorry about that. You think you're ready, and then you realize, oh no, I forgot that. So trying to get this all in screen. So this is a piece that was sent to me from VIP Cross Stitch, and this was a piece of pre-printed muslin, and it really was reignited my passion for cross stitch. And it was really good because my chair is really squeaky. It was pre-printed, so it wasn't too hard on my brain because I do struggle with retaining things since chemotherapy. And I just have to set my computer here. I'm really a mess today. My computer died the other day and I'm using a laptop and it keeps timing out on me, and I like to see so I know that I have you in frame. So anyway, they sent this to me, and I always say to my granddaughter, every time I leave her, I tell her I love you to the moon and back. And when I saw this, I thought, oh, that is so cute. Well, I use a CPAP machine to sleep at night, and I have a mask that fits underneath my nose, and it has the hose to the air chamber. And my granddaughter told me one night that I kind of looked like an elephant with that on. So when I saw this mama, or in this case it's Grandma Nona elephant holding baby elephant Nova, I thought I have to make that. And you know what? I started that on May 3rd, I should say, of this year, and I finished it on July 8th. I worked like crazy on this thing. I wanted to get it done. It was on 11 count Aida, 3 strands, and it was 129 by 173 stitches with 23 colors in it. And I used the floss that came in the kit. I did have issues with some of these greens and the lighter ones. They would get tangled at the ends, and then I'd have to cut it at, not the ends, you know, when you thread a needle and then you have that thread that hangs down. This end you're sewing with, and this end is the loose part. That would get twisted up in the floss, and I'd have to cut it. So I ran short of one color, but some of these colors are so close. I think it was somewhere down in here. I substituted a different color, and I couldn't tell you where that was now. I can't tell. So I'm not gonna get this professionally framed, I don't think. I think what I'm gonna do with it, I'll iron it, and I think I'm just gonna mount it on some foam core and make a mat and hang it on my wall in here. I'll see. I haven't done it yet. So that was my only finish. Now I'm just gonna go and gather up all my projects that I've been working on for the last month, and I'll be back in a flash. Okay, I don't have as many projects on the go as most people do, as I've just gotten back into my cross stitching again. But there's so much. I want to make everything. I see everything, and I want to make it. And man, I have some expensive hobbies. But I guess before I talk, I should tell you about my thumb. I've had problems with this thumbnail since chemotherapy. My nails all came off, and this one just never grew back right. And I was getting my nails done, and it lifted again. So I know it's kind of gross, but it doesn't hurt. But I have to let this grow out again and try to see if I can put nail polish on again, or maybe I just have to give up and just always leave that nail without anything on. But anyway, on to my whips. And I bought this from Fat Quarter Shop. I like to be very organized, and with as many crafts as I do, you kind of need to be organized, because it's hard enough keeping it clean up here as it is without not having everything in its place. But I bought this journal, and I only have 9 things written in here so far, and I haven't even started them all. I have a fear of starting. That's a real disorder. I suffer from it when it comes to making jewelry. I suffer from it when it comes to starting a new quilt, and I suffer from it when it comes to starting a new project. So my hope is that by having a whole bunch of projects on the go, that fear of starting will be gone, because, at least in my brain, I'm thinking, because I've already started it, right? Sometimes the fear is putting those first few stitches in. Also, I have only ever stitched on Aida before. I have never stitched on linen or even weave or anything like that. So I am very much like a brand new cross stitcher, and I'm having a blast. So the next thing I started on my list, I'm also a very avid Lori Holt fan. I love Lori Holt. In case you can't tell, I have done up all of her project bags. And that's all I have done so far. I gave away the other one I've done. I've also crocheted. I've got a big container of an old cracker glass jar of, or biscuit jar of all these flowers that I've crocheted. And on each of my project bags, I made a little button. My granddaughter, my son and my daughter-in-law gave me a button maker for Christmas, or a badge maker. So I've made just simple little buttons to put on each bag so that at a quick glance I can tell what's in that bag. And also when I'm done, I thought I'll figure out something where I can hang all these badges or put all these badges in a book of some kind and just see what I've done, how much I've accomplished. I find setting goals is good, but also seeing that you've met those goals is also good. So anyway, Cut Press Sew is in my Sew Vintage bag. Here's the pattern. And I just had picked up some Aida from Michael's. It's just a kind of a distressed in greens and blues colors. It's really nice. It's white on the back. It's actually very soft compared to some of the Aida I've been working with. And this is how far I got. I started this on July 3rd in honor of my friend's, one of my best friend's birthdays. And I worked on it quite a bit at the end of the month as well. I'm thinking that 1 or 2 months I should have this done. One thing that I learned as I was going along, because in the day when I learned to cross stitch, we all bobbinated all our flosses. And I really like the idea of floss drops. So I made myself some for my DMC floss, but it was messy to me. So now what I've done is I've put a big hole for the big strand of floss that I've cut, and in some cases I've cut this way too short. Again, I'm still learning. I've put and these aren't, what I will do in time is do it on my Cricut and do them nice and neat, and then I'll just run off a whole bunch. And maybe I'll put my Dairy Barn art on there or something, I don't know. But on this side, in this hole to the right, I have got a full strand. So I've pulled a strand off here, and I've put it to the side, and that's where I work out of when I need a new strand. Off to the left are, if I finished and I've got enough left that I don't want to throw it away, but I don't want it over here because it gets all messed up, and so I put it over here. And you know, just because I need to work in here, I may not grab this floss. I may decide I want to start with a full strand, and maybe I've only got 1 or 2 stitches here. That's when I may use this up. So just a little bit of my organizational thoughts. So there's my first project. My second one, I can't put this down. This I started on July 8th, and this is in honor of another another one of my close friends. And this is stitched on 25 count white Lugana 2/2. It is stitch count is 71 by 55, and it's by Primrose Cottage Stitches, and I love this. That's what I'm working on right now, and I should be working on my Christmas project, but I can't put this down. I'm just having so much fun. So I've got quite a bit done. Like I'm thinking if I sat and stitched for a day, I would have this done, because I've only got R-like and the knee and to the sole and that, and it's done. But I think realistically I do have to put it up, because I need to get working on my Christmas project, or I'll fall behind on that. And again, here's the little button I made for that. So next in my pile here, oh, I didn't work on this much last month. Actually, that's ahead of this. I started, I've got these in the wrong order, but that will be okay. This is a Hocus Pocus, Hocus Pocus trilogy from Mill Hills. It's quite old. I've had it for quite a few years, and it's stitched on paper. I don't know if there's a special name for the paper, but that's as far as I got. I only stitched on it on the 13th. I didn't stitch on it on the 31st because I was on a Lori Holt kick and I wanted to work on that. And I didn't stitch it on the 30th. I was going to start a new project on the 30th because the 30th was my birthday, but I was on the Lori Holt project and I didn't want to stop. But anyway, here I've got all the floss just sorted out on this mat design board. And yeah, I hope to get more done. One of the reasons I didn't get more done is because I was having a hard time following the chart. It's charted like a lot of our old ones are, where the stitches are very small and it's hard to follow along unless you're marking. Whereas the Lori Holt and the Primrose Cottage, they're so easy to follow. It's such a nice thing to stitch. So I have scanned this in, and I will use my iPad with Foxit, I think it's called, a PDF program, and I will use that to keep track, because this won't take long to stitch once I get going. It was just that I was having a hard time seeing it. And that's in this huge bag, but I think this won't just be for Matilda the Witch. I just got that off of the internet. Just a little witch. And you know, the funny thing is, we don't even celebrate Halloween. I'm not a big Halloween person. I never have been. My grandkids live in a different town, but there's such cool things to stitch for Halloween that I think this will become my little Halloween bag until I make something. I have a wool applique that I've done with the witch on it, and once I make that into a project bag, I'll make it quite big so that can become my Halloween project bag. And we'll put it out. I really got these out of order. Or I'm missing one. So this is my Lori Holt Flea Market Flowers by Lori Holt. I went away to my brother's place at the lake for a week, and I stitched this while I was there. And everyone's probably seen this and done this. I'm late to the game, and there's so much I want to stitch that everyone else has already stitched, but it's all new to me. But I did this on a cream Aida, and I don't know where I got this Aida, but oh, is it stiff. I guess this goes this way. I really don't care for it. It's so stiff. But I started it and I'll finish it. I'm just kind of that way. I've got it on another design board that I made. I made these design boards years ago when Lori Holt first did a video and showed us how to make them. So I'm kind of on my second round of being in love with Lori Holt. And here's the project bag for that one. Happiness is a full bobbin. So then, welcome to the North Pole. This is my Christmas project, and I'm a month later than everyone else because I didn't have everything in June, and I didn't want to stress myself out. So I just decided I would sew this in July, this in August, September, October, November, December. But then I'm having so much fun sewing other things that I'm thinking, I'm not going to stress myself out. Also, if I get this done this month, I get it done. If I don't, and I want to work on something else, I'm going to work on something else. I don't want to stress myself out. So this is stitched on 28 count Witchell linen, sandstone tea, and I believe that's what it was called for. And this is my first sewing on linen, and I hated it. When I first started it, I hated it. I do not care for this linen. I really struggled, and then I was trying to stitch in hand because I can stitch in hand with Aida, but once I hooped it and worked in the hoop, it went so much easier. So I've just come to the conclusion that I need to work in the hoop, at least until I get used to working with linens. So I think it turned out really well. And I started it on July 9th, so today is the 9th. So I think I'll put the other piece down and I'll start working on this again for this month. But it's a beautiful piece, but I just don't care for the linen. I don't like the open weave of it. I just don't like that look, but you know, it's still learning, still progress. So then on the 12th of July, I started So She Did by Lori Holt. And my son's birthday is on the 12th, so I started it in honor of my son, which you may think is really weird because, you know, most guys don't really sew. But he is I collect vintage sewing machines, vintage and antique sewing machines, and he is always finding me vintage machines. And I've said to him, I can't take any more. I don't have nowhere to put them. And then he'll send me a photo of one, and it's like $25, and it's so cool because some of them are really neat. And this is a lot like the last one he found me. And I can't resist, so I buy it. And then for Christmas, he gave me an old 1920s hand crank machine. I think it's a Jones that he gave me. I still haven't even cleaned it up yet. But this, I'm stitching on a sparkly Ada that I got from, I believe, Michael's or Hobby Lobby, I'm not sure. And it's a pale pink. It's got the subtlest pink to it. And it's 14 count. The stitch count is 140 by 100. And the stitch size will be 7.25 by 10. And it's kind of cool because I've recorded in my booklet here why I started it on Dustin's birthday. And then when I do a project card for the back of when I get it framed, or when I frame it myself, we'll see, I'll put that transfer that information in neater handwriting to the back of that. I'm also using a needle minder that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. I don't care for these needle minders. This one's not bad actually. But the other one that I've been using, the magnet is so weak on it, it hardly works. So I'll have to replace the magnet. And I've got these on this Flosstube that I haven't punched this yet because I hadn't come up with that idea when I was stitching on this. But this I'll start up in a couple of days. So I'm hoping that I can get She Could and then some of that done this month. The thread done, I guess. Then I started this on July 23rd. Why I started it on July 23rd? I don't know. I just wanted to do something different, so I started it. This is a Stitcher's Garden by Tiny Modernist Cross Stitch, and I've seen a few of our other patterns, and I just love them. I just think they're so cool. And I've hooped this, so I'm not having as much trouble with it. And this is on 28 count Water Lily linen by Witchelt. And although I like the color, again, I don't care for this linen. I won't buy this linen again. I think I may have a few other projects on this linen. I don't like the look of the open weave. I would rather stitch on Ada than this. But I found a new love, which totally shocks me because my eyesight isn't the best. But here's my little flower with the Stitcher's Garden, and here's the bag for this one. And I've still got it in the hoop. Then, okay, how do I get this now without everything crashing on me? Oh, I lost some stuff. I finally collected the stuff to do my Sunday stitch. And this is my Sunday stitch. It's by Plum Street Samplers. This is the day. This is the day that the Lord hath made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. I say that to myself almost every day. And I just thought, oh, I want to do this so badly. So I had actually bought linen, and it might have been the called for linen. I can't remember. But when I saw this, I absolutely fell in love with this. This is 36 count Vintage Country Mocha. Hi, Chloe. Chloe is my cat, who is a boy, but he's got a girl's name. And there's a long story behind that, but he sometimes has to come in for a visit. But I started stitching this on Sunday, and this is just Sunday stitch, and I love it. I can't believe I can stitch something so tiny, but I just love it. I have to have my magnifier on, my Ott light that has a magnifying lens and a light, and I have to have that on because otherwise I could never see this. But you know, after stitching this on Sunday, I went back to the kind words, and before, when I was stitching kind words, I was using the lamp and the magnifier, and I didn't need to use it after stitching this. And I honestly think I could probably, if the lighting was right, I could probably stitch this without the magnifier. But I love it. This is, I'm ordering 36. I guess he wasn't getting enough attention. You're gonna say hi to everybody, Chloe? You gotta look up. You gotta look up. Yeah, he's a cute, but he could be a real pest too. So anyway, that's it for my stitching for this month. For my first real month of stitching, I'm impressed. I'm having so much fun, and I have a finish in my quilting. Well, not a complete finish, finished tops in my quilting that I would like to show you if you'd like to stay and watch. And I also have all of my haul between quilting and my needlecraft haul. Hi, sweetheart. He just reached out to touch me. It's like his way of giving me a hug. I would like to show you my haul. So I will clean this up and I will give Chloe a little bit of love, and I'll be right back with my haul. Oops. Okay, I was watching, I have got a few favorite floss tubes. One is the Antique Stitchers. I look forward to seeing their videos, and I hope I get to meet them. I'm hoping to go down to Cincinnati and go to Kentucky to see the Ark Encounter at the end of August, I should say. So I'm going to reach out and see if I can meet them at Keepsakes. But they're one of my favorites. The Country Stitchers, I think, is another one. I love Fat Quarter Shop. I love watching Kimberly. Oh, there's so many. Cat. It's a girl from Ontario in Canada, and she's only had 3 videos out, and she's just such a success, and she's just such a prolific stitcher. I just have too many hobbies to... I'm to the point now where I'm thinking maybe I should pack up my paper crafting and just make myself a nice little stitching nook in here, but not quite ready to do that yet. But anyway, Liz from the Antique Stitchers, I think that's what they're called, she was doing this little sampler for her granddaughter, and I thought, I want to do that for my granddaughters. And my one granddaughter's birthday is September 17th, so I think I'll start this on her birthday, and this will be her birthday stitch. And then when I finish hers, I'll do my other granddaughter's, and her birthday is on the 15th of the month. So yeah, I just thought that would be a way to honor my grandchildren and a keepsake for them as they get older. So I ordered this from Hobby House Needlework, and man, did that come fast. That came faster than ordering in Canada even. But they sent the silks. I've never worked with silk, so that's a new experience for me as well. And I also ordered some samples of floss colors because I have a project that I want to stitch in pink. And so I just ordered some pinks. Why I threw cherry cobbler in there, I don't know. I think it's because I think I may need it from my Welcome to the North Pole stitch. But I ordered these. I ended up, I'm not using any of them, but I ordered cherry cobbler. So these will just be an addition to my stash. But I have a feeling I may stitch with this one in the coming days to come. Pixie Dust. And these are classic colorworks. Organza Pink. Pink Champagne. And Pink Posy. So, And I also ordered some grits. I ordered 2 for some reason. I only needed 1, but you know what? I don't have any of these kind of floss in my stash, so I only have DMC. So that's a good way to start building up my stash. I also ordered them some from Roxy Floss. I thought, you know what? I'm going to see if I can get a Canadian company and see if I like their floss. And their floss is beautiful. So I ordered Isn't She Lovely? These were to test to see if I like the colors. This I love. Egg Hunt. I think 1 or 2 of these may have been on clearance. Blush Crush. And Hyacinth. Those were the ones that I ordered that I decided not to use. So now I'll show you what I decided to use and on what project I decided to use it. If I can dig it out of here. Blue Rhapsody. I love this chart. Can I get that off of there? This is by Rosewood Manor. Oh, I've heard a lot of people talk about charts by Rosewood Manor. Never realized that. Designed by Karen Kluba. And I just love this. I love the intricacy of it, and I love the butterfly. But truthfully, I'm not a real blue person. I love pastel colors. My studio is very much in the pinks and the purples and all the different pastels. But my living room is very much in the warm autumn tones. But I wanted something to have up here. So I ordered this chart, and I ordered this floss from Roxy Floss Co. And this is 36 count pistachio. And it's just gorgeous. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to do this Blue Rhapsody on pistachio. And the 2 pinks I chose, and I've ordered more because you need more than 1 skein, is Florida Pink for my darker pink and Tickle Pink for my lighter pink. So I think that may be my birthday start this month, because I'd really like to get started. Tell me what you think. Do you think that's going to look okay? The colors look a little more corally on the computer screen than they do in real life, but I just kind of thought I'd do something different. I couldn't decide whether I should do purple or pink. And being a breast cancer survivor, I thought it would be nice to have a pink one. But I've also decided I want to do a light purple one as well. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to starting this. I didn't realize at first, I thought it was just a variegated blue, but there are definitely 2 different colors in there. So, oops, sorry, there's a chart on the back. I didn't realize that. So I got that, and then I think I'm going to just go through and get the stuff off my desk. This is just kind of your day-to-day stuff that you need. I was at Walmart the other day, and I saw this little hoop, and I thought, you know what, that'll come in handy since I need to hoop some of these projects. So, and some of them I've cut the linen down so I don't have a very big piece to work with on the start. And I don't have a needle crafting store nearby. I don't even know where the nearest one would be. I'm thinking maybe even Winnipeg, which is a 4-hour drive. But I'm just making do with what I find. So then I found some anchor needles. These are number 26, 24, and 26. I seem to use 26 a lot. 24 sometimes. So I picked up those. And from 123 Stitch, I haven't even opened these yet. Isn't that sad? I've had them for a month, almost. Oh, I can't even open it. I'll get a scissor here. I don't know why I ordered size 24. I guess because I was stitching on Ada, maybe? So I ordered size 24 and 26. I ordered the gold-plated. But the John James. I like John James needles for beading, so I thought I'd give it a try. But I don't know. I'm still learning, and I'm still, like, Michael's and Walmart are my 2 places I can get stuff from unless I order it. And when you order it, you don't really know what you're getting. So I bought this chart. My Home is in the Garden by Hello from Liz Matthews. And I don't think, I just want to check real quickly. Yes, I ordered the no I didn't. Gloriana is silk, isn't it? And I can't afford to use Gloriana yet, so I think what I'm going to do is kit it up with DMCs. It's got the DMC conversion on it. And I had written that I want to stitch it on Vintage Country Mocha, but I've used the piece I've got, so I'll have to order some more of that. I just think that's so pretty. Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. All of a sudden my nose was itchy. So what I did this month, last month I bought the charts. Then this month I ordered floss for a lot of these. And then next month I'll order linens. So Teresa Kogut, I joined her Patreon group, but I haven't printed anything out yet. But I saw this and I love this. I don't know who was stitching it. I think it might have been Brenda and the Cereal Starter. I think that might have been where I saw this one from. And I have ordered the DMC for it. And I'm not, it's 40 count linen. Well, I don't think I'll try 40 count yet. But what I thought I would do is I would make a list of some of these linens it calls for some of these. I may even bring the charts down with me when I go to Kentucky. And when I go to Keepsakes, that's what I'll spend my money on, is purchasing some linens for some of these charts. But aren't these colors gorgeous? I don't know what it would look like. I also purchased some linen. And this is straw. 36 count straw linen fabric. I'm not sure who makes this. Weeks Dye Works, I betcha. WD. I think it would look nice on here too. I have to be missing a color or two. I must be, because I don't see the oranges. Oh, I know why. Because I ordered some. Some were Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Arts, and CCW. I have some of those. I can't think what they're called. Classic Color Works. Yeah, so I don't have all of them yet, but I think maybe that might be nice stitched on there. So maybe that's what I'll keep. I'll keep those together. Then this is Sunday stitching. I think I saw this one on Facebook. People were doing this, and my husband and I love Southern gospel music. That's another reason why I want to go down to Kentucky, because they have 40 days and 40 nights of gospel music. And on the 31st, Jeff and Sherry Easter are singing, and I absolutely love her voice. I've seen them once before, but they don't come to Canada. And we used to get gospel singers come through, but once every few months, but we haven't had it since COVID. And we just love it. And these are all different hymns. And I thought, oh, I would love it. It's kind of funny because I hadn't told my husband I bought this. And I don't tell him anything about it, actually. And he was looking on Facebook, and someone had framed sheet music for the Old Rugged Cross. And he said, doesn't that look good? And I said, yes, it does. And I thought, oh, wouldn't it be nice to do in our bedroom, to do a wall? We keep our faith private. And wouldn't it be nice to do a wall with some sheet music and some cross-stitch stuff? So I'll just see if I can show you without any charts. "'Twas grace that brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home." I can't wait to get started on these, but I already have a Sunday stitch that's going to be keeping me busy. "Thou my best thought by day or by night, waking or sleeping, thy presence my light." I don't know that one. Oh, it's an Irish poem that scholars believe to have been written as early as the 6th century or as late as the 11th century. I didn't know that. "Hold thou thy cross before my closing eyes, shine through the gloom and point me to the skies." Oh, I'm going to enjoy this book. It is well with my soul. I think that'll be my first one. Whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well. It is well with my soul. So I've written down all of these linens that it recommends, and I'll take that list with me when I go, but I think I should take the book as well. Lord of all, to thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise. Oh, sorry. Oh, sorry. 'Tis an ocean vast of blessing, 'tis a heaven sweet of rest. This is an awesome book. Oh, I like this one. A mighty fortress is our God. I will cling to the old rugged cross. Wouldn't that look nice? And then below it have the sheet music. Or even in the same frame. He walks with me and he talks with me and he tells me I am his own. I love that song. It just, oh, got shivers going down my spine. And Rock of Ages cleft for me. I should do that for my one for my mother-in-law. She's in a nursing home. I don't know if it would mean much to her right now. She's got dementia, but she's the nicest woman you could ever wish for a mother-in-law. Oh, these songs have brought tears to my eyes. Okay, so then I picked up The Quilting Bee by the Blue Flower, and I was just watching they're friends. They live in Cincinnati. It's Sarah and Jen, but I can't think what their YouTube handle is. But she was saying that Sarah was saying that this is one of her favorite designers, and looking at some of the charts she has, I agree. So this is the Quilting Bee, and I'm going to stitch it on this, which is country 36 count country cream ivory Edinburgh linen, and it's a fat quarter. I don't know what size to order, so I order a fat quarter. And there it is. Isn't that gorgeous? I see they've got a ribbon, like measuring tape in the framing. And this is, I think I ordered the threads. I'm going to have to look because I'm pretty sure I did. And what is this? It's 133 wide by 110 high, and it's stitched on 40 count sheep straw linen by R&R Reproductions. But I think I'll stitch it on this, and I'm thinking my floss should be here like any day. I ordered it from 123 Stitch. I ordered quite a bit from Fat Quarter Shop too, but Fat Quarter Shop, the shipping can get quite expensive, and it's to Canada and a lot of places. And I'm not, it's nothing against the company because I ship stuff. I have an Etsy store and I have to ship stuff, and I know how much it costs to ship. But when you're a consumer, you've got to look, you know, good for you too, right? And if I can get it at 123, I buy it at 123 because it's $4.95 shipping. So it makes a huge difference for me. Okay, then again, I don't do Halloween. I love Teresa Kogut. I just love her designs. I love her whimsy. I love the primitive look of it. I used to do a lot of quilting with homespuns, and I just love that. So this is her Hello Halloween, which was out last year, and I've kitted up all the DMC. I'm waiting for the dyed floss. I don't know what I'm going to stitch it on yet, but yeah, it's a cool book. I'm going to promise I won't show any charts. So there's a picture of the completed piece. But you know, you could take just a few of these pieces and you can make little pillows out of them. You can make a nice pillow out of that. Do maybe 3 of the witches and 3 of them and make 2 pillows. That's kind of what, when I got back into cross stitching, I want to decorate my home. Why I want to decorate at Halloween, I have no idea, but I think it's the primitiveness of it that appeals to me. And then lots of charts in here, well worth the money. And then we've got spooky Cat Broom Company. And if you think of joining, she has an awesome Patreon benefits for Patreon. And I think it costs me about $30 to $34 a month, but she gives you free patterns every month. And she threw in an extra Halloween pattern this month. Halloween greetings. I love that witch. She reminds me of, maybe it's the Wizard of Oz that it appeals to me. And maybe it's the colors. Maybe that's what it all boils down to, is the colors, because these are the colors my house is decorated in, my living room, and this is kind of, my living room has a couple of quilts that I made with homespuns, and maybe that's what's so appealing to me. Not so much the nature of Halloween, but just the colors of it. And we've got that. I don't know. I'm thinking maybe September and October I will try to dedicate some time to just doing some fall and Halloween projects. Look at these cats. They are so cool. And I think the extra freebie this month was a cat, a Halloween cat. Pumpkins fat and witches lean, coal black cats with eyes of green. All the mystery can be seen on the night of Halloween. There's a couple of ghosts here, and poor witches, they always have to have such huge noses, hey? And there, we've got two more charts. Or not charts, but two more patterns. And that's it. Besides, her artwork is interspersed throughout there. Then, what have I got next on my desk? I've got this. I think I wanted to stitch this on the ivory as well. This is by Needle Bling Designs, Keeper of the Bees. And I did get all the, what does it say? I need hickory sticks, whitewash, and cottage blue, which I think I ordered when I placed my order. And then I've got all the floss for it. But you know what? With the fall coming, this may get put away until next spring, which is okay. I'd like to have all this in project bags, but I need to make them. Here's another one I picked up. And I can't remember if I ordered this from 123 or if I ordered from Fat Quarter Shop, because I ordered from both companies. And I'm just looking to see if there's a picture of it. There it is. Isn't that pretty? Martha S. Scott. Martha S.? Yeah, Scott. 1876. And I can't remember. I did order I think if they're not silks, I did order the floss, the over-dyed floss for it. Not sure what I'm going to stitch it on yet, but I'll really have to get myself organized here for my trip. And if I was flying, I wouldn't consider taking anything like this, but it is from Regina to Cincinnati. Is the minimum time for the flight is over 10 hours. That's the minimum. Most of them around 14, 16, and even more. Well, the drive from Broadview, where I live, down to Cincinnati is about 21 hours. So I've decided we're going to take a vehicle. You know, we'll save money in the end anyway. So then I can take what I want, and I can stitch in the car and that. I found these when I was digging through my stash the other day, and I forgot I bought these. These are little woolen projects for Christmas, for your Christmas tree. And although my living room, I have this really country, I have a very eclectic taste, if you can't tell. And my living room is very country, but when it comes to time to Christmas, it's all glitz and glam. So this is the stuff I would put in my kitchen to decorate my kitchen, unless I decide to go with a very primitive looking tree. I used to do that years ago when the kids were little. I had very primitive, handmade trees. I used to do a lot of craft shows. I had a ceramic shop, and those were the kind of things I put on, things I'd pick up at craft sales. And when my kids grew up, all of a sudden I wanted the gold and the copper and the red and all, not the red but the like maroon red, just deep red. So anyway, I thought, you know what? I think come November, I'm going to pull these out and I'm going to work on them. I've got everything I need in there. It's just a matter of getting started and doing it. And I honestly don't think they'll take too long. So what else have I got over here that I've bought? I picked these up at Michael's the other day. I think they were like $3.50 or $5.50, and they're just like circles. I do a lot of Cricut crafts as well as all my other crafts, and these would make cute little signs. I'm thinking I should go back and get a couple more packages of these. I host a quilting retreat. I host 2 retreats, one in September and one in October, and I always like to make little gifts for the people coming, and I've got an idea for these that I can cover these and do a project for them. And then the round ones, and I thought you can get, they're like Jenga blocks, the wooden blocks. You can get them at Dollar Tree, and you can glue them on the back here, so when you have just one, you can glue it on, so it makes it a self-standing project. So anyway, got those. Then from Fat Quarter Shop, I ordered a couple of Adas. I ordered this one. I saw something done on it and I thought it was so cute. I don't remember what it was now, but I just thought it was really cute, so I ordered it. It's 14 count Ada by Fabric Flair. And I ordered this for a project that I got from Fat Quarter Shop. It was their typo Halloween one. So start that. Like I said, I don't know what's with me in Halloween. And then I saw Lindsay showing this on one of their Flosstubes, the Primrose Cottage Stitches, and I fell in love with it. It is so cute. So I bought it. And like I said, someone who doesn't do Halloween. I'm going to have the cutest Halloween house when I get all this stuff stitched. It'll probably be years down the road, but anyway, I have to kit that up with the floss. I've been ordering, like, I know I can do DMC and save a lot of money, but I have been ordering all the recommended hand-dyed flosses, the cotton ones, because I consider it a form of stash building. That way there, when I'm done that project, I'll have leftovers, and then I can build from my stash. So when I was doing one of my projects, I couldn't stand the mess of my floss, and that's when I decided to order these floss bags. I haven't even opened them yet, and to store my floss in them. And I've since punched 3 holes in every piece, like oh, I don't know where my floss is. My floss drops. I punched the big hole at the bottom and then a smaller hole on each side, and that's working for me. So what I think I'll do is I will just go through my DMCs that are in my drawer, and I'm gonna put them in here, and that way they're out of the dust and everything. Don't know if this will be a system I use. It just, at the time, I just felt like I needed it because I was tired of having tangled floss everywhere. So then I also ordered, because, you know, why buy when you can make? And I know we need to support each other, but believe me, I spend enough money. I bought these rings, and I bought these off of Amazon to make floss drop little charms. So they have different shapes. I've made a couple. They're already on some of my projects. I just didn't show them to you. But where's one of the teardrops? So here you'll print out a picture and you'll cut it out and you'll glue it in, and then you'll glue the floss, this on top. So yeah, I think I need to get making a few more for all of my things I have kitted up. And I also need to make some buttons. Oh, that's got to go on my to-do list. I have a to-do list of things I would like to get done during the month of August, and I didn't have those on there, so I'll have to get them on there. The month is going by fast though. It's already the 9th, so I better get moving. Okay, and then finally, I just have to bend down because these fell on the floor. Well, finally, for my cross-stitching hauls, I still have mega quilting hauls to show you, and a couple of projects that I've worked on. I have all my Lori Holt stitch cards in here. I don't have all of them. I've kitted them up. I put all the flosses in here. I haven't started one of them yet, but I thought I would keep them in here until I decide which one I want to do. And I also picked up set P. There we go. And I've joined the Fat Quarter Shop monthly, so I got sent set Q. So now I'll just get it sent every month to me. And I've decided I'm going to stitch these on this Irish linen that I picked up years ago at, I believe, Michael's. So this is an even weave, 28 count even weave. Ugh. But I'm going to stitch them on that, and it's tea dyed. So, and there's quite a bit on this roll, so I think that'll be good. So I think that's it for my haul for my cross stitching. I'm gonna pause here and I'm gonna put all this away, and then I'm gonna grab my quilting finishes and my quilting hauls. Watch out, there's a lot there. Okay, fasten your seatbelts, you're in for a ride. Have I got haul? But this will probably be, I probably won't have hauls like this for months and months and months, or maybe even a year. I just went crazy this last few months. But I've had this kit for a couple of years, and I finally did the top, the quilt top. It was a panel, a Santa panel, and then you just sewed the borders around and cut 5-inch squares and sewed them together and sewed them around, and just basically like a round robin. It just went there. Then with the leftovers, you made a table runner, and I've got them both pieced. I can't really show the quilt, but you can see all the little pieces there on the table runner. The quilt is down here, and yeah, I need to quilt them yet, but I don't have batting. I think when I do get some batting, I'll maybe do a short little part of the machine quilting and show you that. Then I'm in this mad Lori Holt crush phase. I just, oh, if it's Lori Holt, I have to have it. So I bought these, this package of rulers off of Amazon. And they're just little square up rulers to square up pieces that you've appliqued on. And then I picked up the 10.5-inch one because one of the projects I'm working on, or I should be working on, requires the 10.5-inch Trim-It ruler. And then I picked the 16.5 one because I also need that ruler for another project. And having the right tools just makes it so much easier. And you shouldn't feel guilty buying your tools, because when men do woodworking or whatever their hobbies are, if they need a tool, they generally just buy it. And we often think, oh no, I shouldn't. And I was like that for years. But it makes a huge difference when you have the right tools. You can do so, your work just is so much better and so much easier for you. So then, what else have I got here? I have so much stuff, it's just surrounding me. I picked up the Lori Holt cute little button pack, and I need that for one of the quilts. I'll show you this right away, that I'm going to start here any day now. And I picked up her little pins. I'm very fussy when it comes to pins. I like long, skinny, thin pins for sewing, but these are for using with your design boards, and you just push. It's just a temporary thing. So I ordered those because of course they're Lori Holt. And then I ordered this rickrack trim. You need this, well, you don't need this trim, but you use this. This is part of the quilt pattern for the quilt I'm working on. And there's another color too that I have to order. This is quite expensive, but how much is on here? 12 yards. So yeah, I guess you're getting a lot. And it's 100% cute. And just think how cute this will be after when you can roll up your other things on there. So that's it for those. Then the quilt kit I've been talking about is her Be Vintage Sew Along. Now I ordered this from Fat Quarter Shop. I learned a lesson. I pre-ordered it, and when you live in Canada, like I said, shipping is an issue. So for Fat Quarter Shop, if you live in Canada and you order anything below $100, it's a $20 flat shipping. Anything from $100 to $200, it's $40 shipping. And anything over $200, it's free. Well, this was between the $100 to $200, and because I pre-bought it, I couldn't add to it to get that order up to get the free shipping, and which wouldn't be such a big deal, but with Fat Quarter Shop, I always get charged duty. It's not really duty, you get charged a brokerage fee and you get charged your GST and PST, which you'd have to pay in Canada. But this was over $30 for the brokerage that I had to pay at the post office on top of the $40 shipping. This wasn't in the kit. I purchased this separately. I've never done applique her way, so I'm kind of anxious to try it and see. And these are the fabrics. I'm really on this really vintage feel, vintage vibe right now. So this is her newer, it's not her newest, it's one of her newer lines. And you've got all of these. So I'm anxious to get started. I've got my little white featherweight out that I bought in June. I went down to Minot to pick it up. And if I remember, I'll take a picture of her. Her name is Marilyn. I've never named a sewing machine before, and heaven knows I have a lot of sewing machines. But she was named Marilyn by the lady I purchased her from. And shortly before that, my Aunt Marilyn had passed away. And my Aunt Marilyn was a very classy lady. Very, very classy. And I paid more for this white featherweight than I have probably paid for all my other machines combined. So I just felt like, you know what, that just fits. So she is now badged Marilyn. So I picked that up. Then, move this stuff down. I have stuff everywhere here. I picked up a couple of little kits at my local quilt shop. This one here is another Mary Holt, but look how nice, like Lori Holt packages stuff so nicely. Look how cute that is. Even when you finish your quilt, you've got a cute little storage container. And this is the pattern for it. And then all the fabric is in here that you need. I don't think the backing fabric is here, but I've never been much to worry about what I back my quilts in. I kind of think people should be looking at the front of the quilt, not the back. This must be the background. And then we've got this one. This one, I really like that one. Ooh, I think I might have forgot to bring some stuff over here now that I'm thinking about it. And then the stitch line. So I picked that up. I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna be super busy here. I ordered this tomato quilt. This is like the little sewing tomatoes. Yeah, all of a sudden my mind went blank. Tomato pincushion quilt kit. This finishes at 58 by 70. And I know this seems like a lot, but if I would just button down and just settle down and do one thing for a few days, it's amazing how much I can get done. So there's the fabric for this one, and this one has what, I don't know if Riley Blake calls them layer cakes or not, but Moda, they call them layer cakes. So that's another one that I'd like to get started. And then when I'm done, I've got this beautiful box. Oh boy, I'm just looking around me and there's no end in sight here. Then, Prairie by Bee in My Bonnet. This is a really nice, just, it looks really simple, but I love working with small pieces of fabric, so this is right up my alley. A lot of people wouldn't like it because they would like to strip piece these. So, a light, the medium, the light, or the light, dark, light strips and then cut them and sew them together, where I like to cut the squares. So I don't think this is going to be too big a deal for me to do. And it's a way to see all her wonderful fabrics. Like, look at this. She's got the magic, she's got the Midas touch. I haven't even opened this one. I've got that nice brown and then the stripe. And this is part of her prairie line. And I also have a quilt kit with the prairie that I need to get working on too. But winters are long here. Ooh. I got the bill in there. Probably not such a good idea, but so I got that. Then I was really mad at my husband one day. Really mad at him. And I went to Regina and I went to the quilt shop, and I have been eyeing this up for almost a year, ever since it first came out. I love, two of my passions are roosters and fox. I love them. And I always wanted a pet fox when I was little. And this is by Joanna Figueroa, and this is her kit for her fox quilt. And again, it's in a really nice box. I haven't even opened it yet. So we've got the pattern. Thank you. And everything's still wrapped up in here. So you've got everything you need to make the quilt. The only problem with this is that if you make a mistake, sometimes you have to order more fabric. So you probably should get doing these kits, you know, fairly quickly after you bought them, so that the you can get fabric for it. But Joanna Figueroa, a lot of her lines look very similar, so it's not so bad. And then finally, my friend and I, who's also a Lori Holt fanatic, we saw this quilt kit and we fell in love with it. And we're like, oh man, we bought so much this last month or so, we better not buy it. So I said to her, why don't I buy it for you for your birthday, and you buy it for me for my birthday? So here we go. I love it because the name of my channel is Dairy Barn Art, and it's because we moved to a different yard about 15 years ago, and it used to be a dairy farm. We're beef cattle, and I had a quilting business in those years, and I called myself Dairy Barn Quilting because we've got the dairy barn, and that's an easy way to tell people when they're looking to locate me to drop off their quilts. Was I'd say just look for the white dairy barn right beside Broadview, and they would know where I was. So anything with a hip roof barn I just love. So here we've got all the fabric we need. I just need to order the backing. I want her backing for this, and I don't know if they show it, but it's similar to this, so I want to use that. So anyway, I think that's it for quilt kits, at least. I do have a bit of fabric to show you, but I'll have to get up and go get that after and come back. So then I bought the Lori Holt stitch box for your stitch cards. I haven't even opened this yet because I've been waiting to do a video. I like that it's got that divider so that if you don't fill it up right away, and you can store all her stitch cards in here, or other things, not just stitch cards, because that to me, that's a lot of money just for stitch cards. But I do like organization, and I may order the other colors, but they're a little darker than what I have in my room, so I really like this kind of tealish color, mint. So I'll bring my chair over here, and these are all just little accessories that I picked up. I picked this up from Amazon. I may order some more in different colors. See, this is the needle minder from Home Depot. Hobby Lobby, and I find when you put the fabric between it, it doesn't stay, it just flops all over the place, so I'll have to put a different, but I like this. This is for traveling because it just folds down and it's so flat, and then I can use it to hold my chart while I'm cross stitching, or my pattern while I'm sewing. I may get a few others to have at different stations in my room up here. I picked up Lori Holt's thread conditioner, which is 100% natural beeswax, and it's so cute. It's in the I don't know if you can see that. Isn't that cute? So I ordered that. I had beeswax for my beading when I work with leather, but It dried out. I think I might have to do something. I got these needle minders. These are Lori Holt ones, and like they stick like glue. See, here's my other wax. And then here's another needle minder. It actually has a needle on it. I tried a different way to cut my floss drops this way, but I actually prefer them to be this way. I just need those 2 DMC colors, and then I can put them on there. I ordered this to put on my Christmas project bag. It's so cute. And I ordered this, and I love it. I absolutely love this. It's Lori Holt's little stand to put on. I use a lap desk when I cross stitch, and this I put my pattern in here. I put my needle minders. I have one there, and I have one over here. I put this wax down here, and put the other wax in there. And I had my floss drops that are waiting for floss over here, and I love it. It's just so great. I think I'll put this one in the back, actually. I keep a pen on the side when I need a pen, but I actually think I'm going to put that down here. I'll put the wax on the side. Yeah, so this is just awesome to take along with me, and it comes in a case. Well, I don't think I'll use the case that much, but maybe I can use it for other things. It can be a project bag. Duh, Winona. This is going to be my Halloween project bag. No, I have a Halloween project bag. Well, that's okay. This will become my new Halloween project bag because I like the colors. What else have I got over here? I've got some foundation paper, and this is the 8-inch vintage sunburst block. I just thought it was quite cool, so I ordered that. And I ordered the economy block. I want to, Lori Holt's little stitch cards. This is how I want to finish some of them. I want to put the stitching in here, and then I can do an economy block. Like, I don't need paper piecing, but it just makes it so much easier. You don't even have to think. You just do it. I ordered those. I ordered Lori Holt's Stitch Be Happy, my Happy Place templates for her applique. That's a quilt that has a sewing machine on it, and that is my happy place up here with all my machines. So I ordered that to go with it so that I can make that quilt. I'll just have to start gathering fabric. And then I ordered this office bundle. I wasn't actually even sure what I was getting, but I think it's pretty cool. So you get 3 of her pens. You've got some cool little paper clips. You've got some of her washi tape. You've got a little sticky note notepad. You've got some tabs to put on the edge of your pages. You've got this Happy Place notebook, which comes with these bookmarks and some stickers, and it's got graph paper in it. I can use it for graphing out cross-stitch patterns if I choose. And then down below, you've got some file folders. Not exactly sure yet what I'm going to do, what I'm going to use them for, but I just thought, you know, I just wanted to spend money probably. I struggle in the summer because my husband's out cutting hay all the time, and I'm in the house by myself pretty much from the time I get up to the time I go to bed. And I find I just start to get really depressed after a while. So this is what I do. I don't normally shop like this every month. I probably will buy some stuff, like I ordered my floss, but I won't order like this because this was absolutely crazy. When I was in Michael's the other day, I saw these, and I'm going to personalize these for my granddaughter for her classroom. I will put her teacher's name. She has 2 teachers this year, and we'll put grade 1 on there. And I think I'll either we'll use the other one next year, or I'll wait till Olivia's in school, and maybe Olivia can do one for her teacher. And I'm just going to run and get the last of my haul, and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the quilt that I'm working on, the Be Vintage kit. So here is all the cutting instructions. You have to go to her blog, and she posts the assembly instructions for it. But I don't know, it's just something, like, I wasn't born in the 30s, but it reminds me of my grandma, Lori Holt, and all the stuff she does. This is my backing for that quilt. I ordered the backing set. And I also ordered a couple of fabrics because I want to, I have an ironing table and I want to recover it in this. This is upholstery weight Lori Holt fabric. So I'm going to recover that. And then I've got some little ironing boards that I'm getting my son to make me, and I'll cover some of them in this. So that's it for all my shopping. That's it for my completed kits. My goals this month are to finish my elephant cross-stitch project, to finish my rabbit from last month. I'm making it into a toss cushion cover, and to finish a table runner that I started. I want to get it totally quilted and done to put underneath my little featherweight machine. I want to make some project bags so that I have bags for some of my cross-stitch projects. I want to work on my Lori Holt quilt. And another thing I want to do, I'm just going to pull this up here, is when I went through chemo, I picked up this Watuko, and you just slide this over your head. It's like a chemo cap, and then you twist the bottom and tuck it in. And I loved it. I loved wearing it, especially in the summer. I should actually wear it when I go swimming. But I didn't realize how sick I was at the time, and I had all these plans that I was going to do all this stuff for the chemo clinic after, but I just have never been able to do it. But I went and bought all this fabric from Fabricland in Regina, and I've been wanting to make chemo caps. And once I get going, it's not going to take me long. This is actually swimsuit material. Look at that one. I should make some in that one. Because basically you just cut it. I just have to measure how to cut it, and then you run your serger down it. I haven't had my serger going in years, so the biggest challenge will be to get my serger going, and then cut these up and do them up, keep a couple for myself, and the rest I'm going to take to the chemo clinic for people undergoing chemo. This was so nice because it was soft on my head. So, you know, you think your head doesn't hurt when you lose your hair, but sometimes it does. Sometimes everything hurts when you're going through chemo. So, and you feel so ugly. And, you know, like, this is really cool. This is just so bright and cheerful. Like, why not? Why not make stuff to help people? So that's my goal this month. I want to get at least some of these done, and then this basket will be empty, and it'll be one more thing out of my craft room. So now, if you've watched this entire video, which, boy, there was a lot of stuff in it, but if you did make it through, thank you so much. If you liked it, please subscribe. And yeah, I hope to see you in another month. Might not be the beginning of September. If we go down to Kentucky, we might not be getting back till the maybe 3rd or 4th of September. So it might take me a few days to get everything back in order and that. But in the meantime, I wish you lots of love and happiness until we meet again. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.